All right. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to see that. Then I love a bit of Nurse, and Oni is my favorite competitive killer. But as we're going to be jumping right on in here, we're going to be seeing Yakun on the Nurse. Yakun is a very, very highly regarded Nurse player in Japan, possibly the most regarded Nurse player in Japan, known as the best out there. So I'm very excited to see what he can do here tonight against Skirmish Japan. Now, Maya, give me your thoughts on the build. How are you feeling on the Dying Light?
Not gonna lie, Filthy, I have never seen this run in comp before. Dying Light is a very interesting perk to pick. We're getting a really quick down onto Ray here, sorry. That was an amazing first down by Yakun there. But yeah, with Dying Light, I'm not really familiar with how it works, Filthy. Something to do with the obsession, I think. Not quite sure, yeah.
That is absolutely right here. Hold on, I'll pull up the proper description of the perk, but while I talk about that, I will just, of course, explain the add-ons. For those who don't know, the Fragile Wheeze applies the Mangled status effect to any survivor that you land a blink attack on. And, of course, the Rusty Spoon, I think it's called, will increase the survivor's groans of pain by 50% for, I think it's like 30 seconds after the injure comes through from a blink attack. And, of course, Dying Light is an obsession-based perk. Your obsession will gain a 33% speed bonus to unhooking and healing and whatnot. But for every hook you get on another survivor that is not your obsession, everyone else will get a 3% penalty to repair speed, heal speed, and whatnot per stack. So it's actually, it's not the strongest perk in the world, but it definitely can get a little bit of slowdown, and especially when the meta is a little tight around balancing onto the Nurse at the moment. But speaking of all that aside, Yakun has come through tearing into this game with 2 hook stages at 5 gens.
Yeah, what an amazing start by Yakun there. We see Ray got a pretty quick reset off by someone who unhooked them. I think Ivy may have, I don't know, may have been the Delhi player, I'm not too sure. But Yakun is just going to be patrolling this topside area here, maybe catch out and try and get a tag onto someone. But holding this topside, we've got a pretty tight 3-gen up here. We've got, and we do catch out a double here, working on this generator at 11 and getting a tag onto Ray, which Ray is on 2nd stage, I believe. So I think Yakun is just going to opt to try and tunnel out Ray here. And beautiful blink. Yeah, amazing blink by Yakun there. Not quite double backing and mind gaming enough, but Yakun is going to be leaving Ray on the ground and trying to push off Kino off the gen here. Hopefully get a tag, and I think Yakun would just maybe committing to this chase, it seems like. Just leaving Ray on the ground and maybe waiting out a DS timer, I'm not too sure, but we are going to see Kino going down into the corner of 1 here, and Ray does get picked up in the background.
Yeah, no, Skirmish must have had somebody ready for that pickup on the get-go. Or possible unbreakable on the side of Skirmish JP there, but the quick reset coming through onto our Ash Williams. We will be seeing Ray safe and in the trial yet again. Kino going to be hooked up towards that 1 corner here, while Yakun comes over to pop this generator here, get 25% of that current progression regressed, and we are going to be seeing our 2nd stack of that Dying Light come through on the side of Yakun. 6% slowdown on the generators for every survivor that is not the obsession right now. We actually see some pretty strong gens up here towards the top side, and likewise down towards bottom. Yakun in a very good spot so far. I mean, how could he not be 3 stages at 5 gens? But securing a tunnel out right now is definitely going to be on his higher list of priorities.
Yeah, I can see why Nurse's Kitchaze's pick. They're doing really well so far, Yakun is, but can't help but notice that no gens have been popped yet. We do see a, I think that might have been renewal off the hook by Kino there. Yakun opting to chase for May here and getting that down. What a really nice blink, and we do see that eruption pop off onto that 11 gen. So we can see a few auras there. I'm not sure if that's a double or just a single. But Yakun's just going to take this hook and go back to top side. Looks like a 4 gen at the top here. Gonna pop this gen and going to be blinking towards one of these bottom side gens. Maybe catching out someone who might be stealthing for save, but we do see that 11 gen, I think it was, pop in the distance because that did have a lot of progress. Going to be applying Eruption onto this gen and linking back to the hook. I think Yakun may know that someone's here, and we do see someone here. This is Ivy, I believe, stealthing for that save, and Yakun's just going to commit to this chase onto Ivy here. And oof, getting taken to the edge map rock there. Ivy playing that extremely well. Yukun opting to commit to this chase here and not quite landing his blinks. Ivy's using the line of sight breakers really well. Amazing job by Ivy there. And we do see May get unhooked as well with a broken status. I'm not too sure what that is. And we do catch out Ray here, trying to work on one of these bottom side gens. This isn't really a good start for Skirmish JP right now. They're still on 4 gens, and they've, you know, Yukun sitting on 4 hook stages at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's a lot of gen pressure right now.
Yeah, no, I think we did see Kino was actually our Deliverance player, so May came through with that renewal, with Ivy with a fantastic chase against the monster of a Nurse coming through. Really managed to allow Skirmish JP to get a little bit of pressure back into the game here. A quick down coming through onto Ray, and we get an Eruption Aura actually on to our friend Ivy yet again. A fantastic double blink coming through. And oh, Yakun actually going to be messing up that blink there. Ivy definitely the MVP of the trial so far. That's going to be our gen over towards the mid right side of the map there, getting out of the way. Skirmish JP doing a good job at trying to rein this back in from a really, really awful start. And we're actually looking at if they can get one of those topside generators, a nice little gen split.
Yeah, Yakun is committing to this bottom side when he knows that he has a pretty tight 3-4 gen up top, but there is still a chance for Skirmish JP to bring this back, I believe. They are playing really safe and pre-leaving gens when they need to be. But yeah, Yukun just needs to maybe get a tunnel or just someone to just a death out of the game, I think, and make it a 3v1 to apply a lot more pressure to the survivors. But we do see Yukun picking up Ray here, and that will be Ray's second stage. And Yukun's just going to return back to the top side and try and push the others off the gens. Not a lot of progress on this gen here. Going to be applying pop to that and going to be blinking back to the hook, maybe catching out someone. He knows that someone did pre-leave that gen, so might even just confirm death here onto Ray. I think that would be a smart thing to do. He's got 2 really progressed gens here that he can easily patrol. But we do see Ivy trying to come in for the unhook onto Ray. Just getting found, and Ivy's just going to be taking Yukun away. And not quite dodging those blinks, but I think this is Ivy on Death Hook, I believe. Maybe? No, I think... No, she's on second stage. So Yukun's is going to return back. We do see a reset come off onto Kino in the background. I think Ray is really close to dying. I don't think anyone's going to come into the save. They just need to pump out gens at this point, I think, Filthy.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. A 4K at 1 and a 4K at 2 are just night and day in terms of trying to meet those win conditions here. If Skirmish JP can pop one more gen and get it down to a 4K at 1, then it is at least salvageable on the side of their Nurse. Oh my goodness, Yukun just got absolutely demolished. Kino with a fantastic fake off the edge of the main building there has bought extra time for a health state. We do see May coming through for an unhook onto her friend Ivy here, and it will come through. A nice trade on the side of Yukun. Will be able to take this extra health state onto May and will elect to take it. Going to be taking this hook and likely heading back towards the main building. We know it did have some progress on the generator. Getting a pop goes the weasel could be absolutely huge. And Yukun is kind of faking it out, feeling a little bit indecisive here, but going to the main building is definitely looks like where he's planning to go here. We do catch out our friend Kino again, but a fantastic pre-leave on the side of Skirmish JP will result in Yukun not going to be able to get that hit here, but not very much progress on that gen, sadly. Skirmish JP really are in a tight spot right now, trying to get those bottom gens done. Injured on the side of Ivy could be a plausible play, but then Kino would have to rep for the save. If a 2v1 is forced now, it is going to be very hard to try and play it out with one injured survivor. We see the unhook coming through onto May with the renewal, but sadly it will not be able to proc Yukun. Getting a fantastic hit there through that borrowed time status effect is going to be able to play for this down onto May. A nice fake blink. It looked like May dead-hearted that, but sadly it did not come off. I'll have to get that confirmed later, but I'm pretty sure May, missing that dead hard, will be eating the down here, and no decisive strike either to try and confirm away off the Nurse's shoulder there. That will be a death on to May. 2 gens remaining, and Yukun already knows he's going straight to bottom side to try and stop these gens from popping.
I think Filthy May did try to dead hard there, but sadly she was already in deep wounds, so it wouldn't have worked.
Oh, true that.
Yeah. So This is a yeah, not looking very good for Skirmish JP at the moment. They do have a pretty decent 2-2 split. I think the best they will try and go for is a 4k1 result, but they just have to play really safe and pre-leave those gens and just split up on each side of the map and try and crank out that last generator. But we know that main doesn't have a lot of progress. Going to be catching out Kino here and getting a tag, and probably going to be committing to the down, zoning to a pretty unsafe area of the map, and yeah, just getting that down onto Kino there, and going to be opting to pick. We do see Eruption proc in the background, no auras that we can see, and Yukun's just going to take Kino up to the mid side of, yeah, to like a mid hook maybe, towards bottom side it looks like he's going for. No, he's just going to opt to pop him here actually. And I think Ivy, the best thing that Ivy can do is just stealth this out, or maybe sitting on a gen, just cheesing out a gen to try and get that 4k1 result. But we do find some scratch marks here. Very sadly, this might be the end for Ivy here. Breaking line of sight, juicing up pretty well here. Ivy's been playing really amazing tonight with their chases, but I don't think that... Oh, amazing. Oh, so unpredictable with those dodges, doing really well. Ivy trying to make their way to hatch, but I think Yukun's just gonna cut him off. Oh wow, what an amazing last chase of the game. Yukun's zoning them away from the hatch and just going to be zoning towards the top side of the map. We're gonna be seeing this last juicer. Oh, and finally gets the down. What an amazing chase by Ivy there. Been playing spot on all night.
Yeah, no, definitely Ivy off to a juicy chase to wrap things up here for Skirmish Japan. This will be a 4K at 2 on the side of Kitchaze. A fantastic game of the Nurse being played out by Yukun. Probably a bit of value out of that Dying Light too. Those gens unable to pop. Eruption really coming through on them as well. A fantastic build being played out. But of course, we will be jumping on into Skirmish Japan's Nurse next to see how they perform against the win con of a 4K at 3. And you all know the drill. We will be right back at you after a very short break.
Welcome back everyone to Kitchaze for Skirmish JP. We just saw an outstanding performance by Yukun's Nurse, achieving a 4k2 result. We are now going to be seeing Skirmish JP trying to achieve a 4k3 win con, which is a really tough win con to meet on Nurse on the Cold Tower. How do you think this is going to go, Filthy?
Yeah, look, it's not looking good for our boy Ray here. We've got a fantastic JP Survivor lineup. Yukun and Uni, two very renowned competitive players. Rizumu and Beffy, I think it will be. I'm not too sure. I haven't heard of them too much, but I'm sure they're also fantastic. And we will be taking our first chase here down towards the bottom side of the map. I didn't quite catch. It does look like it's going to be Yukun in the first chase here on the strong Prestige 6 Yoichi. We're going to be juicing on the Orman tile here. Ray, already looking like he's off to a pretty decent start here. We're seeing Lucky Break on the side of Yukun, but a fantastic double back around that box there has resulted in the down not yet coming through. Yukun going to be breaking away and making his way down towards the shack here. This is actually a very interesting corrupt intervention spawn. Looks like we've got 6 and 7, and then all the way up towards 11 is the third one. Oh, nice little blink there from Ray, and that will be our first down of the trial coming through. I'd like to quickly comment on and agree with the pick of Fearmonger, but give me your thoughts, man.
I think Fearmonger, from personal experience, Filthy, is a very annoying perk to go up against. Pretty standard. I can see like a lot of nurses have been running it. It's either Fearmonger or Discordance is the pick, obviously because they can't run Pain Resonance. It is banned on S tiers. But yeah, Fearmonger is a really good pick because, you know, it gets rid of the exhaustions and gives you a blindness effect as well if you are working on a generator. So yeah, it is a pretty good perk, especially if you're running Sprint Bursts and you can't use it to get off the gen. But we do catch out Faffy here. Might be coming in for the save, but not quite getting it. We do see main gen pop in the distance, and we see some scratch marks leading up to the hook. Is this someone trying to come in for a save, or they're wrapping around to get it? This might be the Delhi player, potentially. We do see Uni here. Going to be trading, it looks like. This might be our Delhi player, but Ray is just going to be slugging Uni and committing to Yukun, trying to get that tunnel out as fast as he can. absolute juice by Yukon. I think that might have been just the haste off the hook there, but Ray opting to leave Uni and going to be committing to this chase, getting a really nice down there, and going to be picking and let's see if he has DS. No DS on Yukon there. We do see Uni gets picked up, or maybe that was Unbreakable. But Ray's just going to be taking Yukon back to the same hook at the bottom side. Don't really have a 3-gen down this side of the map. It's not the worst 3-gen. We do spot out Uni here and someone else there and doubling this gen, potentially going to be getting pop and eruption onto that gen and blinking back to hook, trying to cut off anyone, trying to get the save. I think Ray just really wants that 3v1 as soon as he can to make it a bit harder, but he only needs it's a 4k3, so if they pop one more gen, that's Tycon? Or no, Tycon's 4k2, sorry, my bad. But we do see Riz working on this generator here, going to be coming in and really nice down by Ray. This is not looking too good. Everyone's injured right now, but I think that's not what their priority is. I think their main priority is just to do the gens.
Yeah, actually, if Ray forces death onto Yakun here, the other two survivors are injured. This is really bad for Kitchaze. If Ray plays his chase as well here, this is actually very winnable. I imagine they're probably two-splitting to try and meet the win condition here. But, I mean, any doubt I had that Ray might be able to rein this back in is now definitely gone. He is actually electing to go for the pick on Rizumu here, which is, I think, an interesting decision, but maybe Ray is feeling quite confident that 3 isn't quite ready to pop yet. We're going to be taking this hook and going to apply pop goes the weasel onto this generator at 9, which is painfully close. That's pretty much done here. We do see a reset coming through onto Faffy, and well, I mean, I don't think Faffy had the medkit, so it's likely that Uni and our Faffy here are resetting somewhere across the map right now. We're going to be blinking on up onto this hill here, looking for a bit of LOS across the map, but sadly, it looks like it has been fruitless. We do see a scratch mark over towards main. I think it might have been, unless my eyes are deceiving me, and with the reset coming through on to Uni as well. So Kitchaze doing a great job at resetting this match here. This has definitely pulled it slightly back into their favor, but Ray getting regression onto his gens at the same time as camping this hook is just absolutely massive for him. He's playing this really well.
Yeah, Ray's had an amazing start so far this game, but Kitchaze doing the right thing by resetting there. I guess, I don't know what the right play would be, just to commit to a gen and try and get that Tycon, or just not opting to go for this unhook. It looks like we don't seem to see anyone that's trying to attempt to get Riz here. We do see Riz go second stage, and I think Ray might just leave this hook to try and check on any top or bottom side gens they might be working on. We do know that this gen has been touched, so there might, yeah, we do see some scratch marks here. Going to be applying eruption to that gen and following these scratchies to see who that was, but Ray doesn't want to commit to it. It doesn't look like. Going to be linking back to the hook, and we do see the pull come off onto Riz here by, looks like Faffy, I think it was.
I think so,
yeah. So Ray going to be trying to get this death out onto Riz here.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh, that is absolutely massive for Ray. That is second death at 3 gens remaining. This is not looking really good for the Kitchaze side right now.
No, it is not. I mean, color me impressed. This is a fantastic game being played out thus far by Ray here. We're going to be blinking back on down towards 3, where we know we had an eruption proc mere moments ago. Going to be looking for the progression on this gen. Thus far, Ray blinking up onto that hill, trying to catch whichever survivor was working on it. And we can hit this with Pop Goes the Weasel as well, just to force some more regression here. Uni and Faffy are only 2 survivors left in the trial. Going to be playing a bit of a 2v2 here, which is not impossible against the Nurse, especially seeing as there are multiple gens left. There's quite a significant split across the board right now. As we blink on up towards 9, this gen still regressing. Ray feeling pretty confident about that, is going to be making his way up towards 11, where I would expect the second survivor to be working on the gen here. We've got pretty big progression on this already. We're going to be seeing our survivors playing a bit of the stealth game here, and this is when it starts to get really rough for our Nurse. You've got to decide when it is going to be safe to leave that generator without the survivor going to be able to pop it here. Searching this edge map is buying time for whichever the other survivor is to get progression on to that generator down towards 3. So this is when the pressure starts to build up and trying to meet this win con.
Yeah, this is really, really tight at the moment. I'm on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you, Filthy, but yeah, it's not looking good for Kitchaze, but it is still doable, I think. Like, you've got a pretty good gen split. They only need to get 2 gens done to get that win con. So if they just 2-2 split and pre-leave and stealth and try not to give off any free tags or downs, they can bring this back. But Ray is doing really, really well at keeping up this gen pressure and catching out any survivors, but he's not really having much luck in... Oh, we do see some scratchies over here at this tile here. This looks like, I think that is Faffy taking towards the main building. Going to be chasing here. Really nice juke by Faffy there. I assume that Uni would be working on... Oh, I think Uni was working on the 11 gen there. We do see that come through, and that is Tycon achieved, and it's not looking really good because Ray would know where Uni is because they just did that gen, and we are taking a chase onto Faffy here. I think the best thing that Uni could do is just stealth and try and get onto a gen down the bottom side. Oh, the rock and tree just eating Ray's blink there. That is so unfortunate. Faffy is playing this extremely well, using all the line of sight and resources he can, but getting the grab off the pallet. Oh, that is...
And that was an eruption scream too.
Oh, no.
That is going to be huge for Ray here. Faffy on that trauma Kate, not going to be able to juice long enough. And Ray going to be getting swallowed entirely on that main building there. But we do know that where Uni is stealthing, or at least the general area. So this might be able to be a tie on the side of Kitchaze versus Skirmish JP. Here we're going to be looking around for our stealthing Min here. Uni doing a fantastic job at stealthing thus far. We're going to be having a look in the locker, but sadly for Ray, it is not going to be happening. But we do catch a glimpse of our Min Uni with a crazy juke coming through there. A fantastic double back. We'll be able to avoid that swing. But it's looking like we're going to be taking our final chase of the trial here, and it's looking like it may well be a tie on the side of Skirmish JP, doing what I thought to be the impossible.
I was definitely not expecting it to be a tie, with a 4K3 or 4K2 result being really, really difficult to achieve. But Ray has played this entire game just really, really well. Oh, Faffy taking a really nice BT hit there on Uni there. But Uni going down, and yeah, Ray's just going to slug and try and get that down onto Faffy. But yeah, what an amazing game by Ray. Played extremely well. But yeah, just Kitchaze just not being able to achieve that.
Bit of Pocos through that pallet there, sadly. But yes, fantastic. Tying is no small feat, and this will be the 4K at 2 confirmed for Ray, unless a possible deliverance off the hook. I don't think we've seen Deli yet, have we, Maya?
I don't think we have, actually. Unless
I
don't know.
It looks like Ray is going to be playing this safe anyway and just not picking Uni until Faffy does die on that hook, just to make sure no deliverance will come through. A very smart decision on the side of our Nurse. But yes, what a fantastic game being played out. Ray reining in a bit of a rough start against Yakun with that first chase, but is actually able to secure the Tycon and was so painfully close to securing that win condition as well. A fantastic match of the Nurse being played out, and this will be the final hook on to Uni, so we won't make you wait for Uni to inevitably perish on this hook here. We will be taking a quick break before we head on into the next set, and you all know the drill. Kick back, grab some popcorn. We will catch you in roughly 5 minutes. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back on into Kitchaze versus Skirmish Japan here. We've seen a fantastic Nurse set being played out by both sides, which actually resulted in a tie. So we will be heading on into the second set of the evening, which will be the Blight here on the Azerov's resting place. I love a good Blight match, especially with some of these APAC Blights. They've done time and time again to prove themselves, and Merit will be coming through here on the Blight for Skirmish JP to see what he can do on his pick of Killer here. Maya, give me your thoughts going on into this.
I do enjoy myself some Blight games, Filthy, and yeah, this is a pretty standard build from Merit. Excuse me, we do see a first chase coming in onto the Nia here really, really quickly. Going to be dropping that shack pallet and zoning towards the bottom side of the map here, and that brutal strength coming through, just making it easy for Moret to zone towards the edge map here. This is going to be a really quick down, I think, onto the Nia here, and playing this Z wall really well, but as I said, it goes down, and that is a really quick first down there for Moret, yeah.
You know, Merit having a really quick first down onto Uni here, a fantastic first chase being played out on the killer side, and of course, we've got that very typical Blight build coming through. This is actually quite strange. Normally, the JP players will have heavily JP influenced builds, but I think Merit has been taking a bit of, what's the word? I guess inspiration from some of our Oceanic Blights here, and maybe even some of the ones from across the seas in Europe, and has brought in that brutal strength in combination with the Eruption. Pop goes the Weasel and Corrupt, and I love to see that happening here. We see some missed skill checks up towards the top side of the map there, alerting us to the fact that there is 1 or 2 survivors across the board right now, and we will be kind of just defending this mid-map here. Some scratch marks heading down towards the shack. Potential Deliverance Savior coming through to get the save. A fantastic line coming through from Greninja there, and this will be the save coming through. Oh no, Moret's accidentally dashed into the corner there and given survivors free reign of the map here. Greninja will be able to get away safe and sound, and it looks like actually Uni will be able to as well. No, actually, the Blight has caught on to Uni. We're going to be going for it, and we actually get the down. That is huge for Merit.
Yeah, that was really nice blind by Greninja there, preventing that trade potentially happening. But yeah, Moret playing extremely well to locate Uni again and getting that second down onto Uni. And yeah, this is not looking really good for Kitchaze right now, Filthy. I think Moret's just going to hold this bottom side of the map. He does have a 3-gem, but we do catch out some survivors here. There was a few people coming in to help with the save, so I don't think there'll be a lot of gen pressure at the moment. Moret's going to be returning back to the hook, and we do see the unhook come from Greninja there, probably our Delhi player, and Moret's just going to try and tunnel out Uni here. Uni just needs to have a really strong, long chase here to try and get some gens going.
Yeah, Moret playing this fantastically with that brutal strength, zoning our Nia back down towards the bottom side of the map here. If we can get a down and a death onto Uni, it is going to be a pretty strong result for our Blight here. Sadly, not quite going to be able to bounce onto that tile there, and we will be rushing up towards the mid-map just to keep Uni zoned down towards the bottom side of the map here. Moret still following those blood pools. We got to make sure we don't lose our tunnel out. It would be very brutal if we did. We've got some scratch marks we are following onto. Is this Uni? It is, but we've got a friend with him. It is going to be Rizumu coming through for the body blocks. Kitchaze is hammering these generators, and that is going to be a for the people as well onto Uni just to delay this tunnel out even further. We're going to be dashing around with some nice insta rushes, but sadly is not able to make a connection, and this is starting to look a bit rough for our friend Moret.
Yeah, Moret had a really strong start to the game, but Kitchaze doing really well at keeping their cool and bringing this back. That FTP coming through onto our tunnel here was huge, and buying some more time for Kitchaze to get those gens done. We do see we're at 2 gens remaining. As you said, like, they're cranking out these gens. Going to be zoning Uni towards this pallet here and zoning even further with brutal strength, and I think Uni's just going to opt to die. Oh, they're going to be coming in to take some hit. Not quite getting that hit by Faffy. But yeah, really nice hit by Moret there, and that's going to be a death at 2 gens. And I think this split, I don't know if he still has a 3-gen up this. It does look like
he do, yeah, he does, yeah.
So Moret can bring this back, but yeah, Kitchaze doing really well at trying to, you know, take those body block hits and get those gens done.
Oh, a fantastic stun coming through there from Faffy. We'll be able to make the top side of the map now and play pretty safe, but I think Moret's main concern right now is there are still 2 injured survivors. One of them is on the bottom side of the map right now. We caught a glimpse of them just before over towards the crane, and we've found the other one towards 7 here. If we can get a quick down onto our friend Greninja here, it is going to be quite huge. We have a pretty good guess as to this being the Deliverance. The greed coming through from our Feng here, quite interesting. We're going to be seeing some rushes coming through from Moret, but not able to get that collision with the survivor there, and that will be Greninja living a little bit longer here, playing this pellet fantastically. And honestly, they can play it pretty well and pretty safe, seeing as their ping is so low. A fantastic stun coming through from Greninja, and we will be extending this even longer. Will our other survivor be able to get that gen over towards the crane? I think they should be able to.
Yeah, yeah, Greninja's playing this really, really well. And I think, Filthy, this might be our Deliverance player, so it's not really the person that you want to be chasing right now. And we do see the last gen pop in the background, and wow, they might even be able to get some outs here. And Moret's still looking to commit to Greninja here, who I believe is our Deliverance player. And I assume the other two are just going to be trying to get outs, and Greninja will probably pop that Deliverance and maybe make a door, and they'll take some hits. But we do see these gate spawns. They are on the same side of the map. We do see a reset come through onto Riz here, and we see some scratch marks. I believe this is Faffy. They're not starting on any doors yet, but I think Faffy's just going to try and buy some time. We don't see the Deliverance come on to Greninja. I was surprised they didn't have Deliverance, but yeah, we do see the pull come off regardless. Going to be committing to this chase onto Faffy, which I believe is Fresh Hook, so ideal person to be going for, and going to be trying to get this down, and really nice rushes, but yeah, really beautiful rush. And yeah, I think they might be just working onto that other gate on the other side, and maybe take some outs here is probably the best play. Yeah, we do see the exit gate open, and I think that's going to be, I don't know how many stages that is, Filthy, can you correct me?
It should be 7, I think, if Faffy dies on this hook, but what I've been seeing from JP teams so far is they really like coming in to get these unhooks. And we do see a reset coming through onto Greninja, which is worrying me that maybe our survivors are actually going to be coming in to try and get this save. But, I mean, the main issue with that is if Moret gets it down onto Rizumu, we're seeing more stages on the counter, an 8 stage 4 fresh, and I think, yeah, Kitchaze realizing that that is too big of a risk are going to cut their losses and get out the exit gates here. A fantastic result from the survivors. Moret losing, or not losing that tunnel out, but having such a long chase with the tunnel out Uni, and then getting juiced a little bit by Greninja, sadly going to be coming through with only 7 stages, 3 fresh, I think it was. So, I mean, oh, sorry, was it? Yeah, 3 fresh, I think it was. So a fantastic result on the survivor side. Definitely rough for Skirmish JP's survivors to try and rein this back in. But hey, we have seen crazier, and you all know the drill. We will be back at you to find out after a very short break.
Welcome back, everyone, to Kitchaze for Skirmish Japan. We are currently on set 2, which is Blight, which is Skirmish's pick. We did just see Skirmish achieve a 7-stage 3 fresh result, and we're now going to be seeing Kitchaze on the Blight and Skirmish on the Survivor side, trying to achieve this pretty iffy win con. How do you feel about this, Filthy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy, right? A 7-stage 3 fresh is definitely not the result you want to be seeing on ARP Blight, but I mean, sometimes it happens, you know? And it's interesting to see Yakun with the usage of Enduring here. I don't know about Enduring usage on ARP, but I mean, if it works, it works, and of course we will find out how he uses this perk throughout the trial here. We're going to be looking around at this top side here, trying to catch a sneaking survivor out, but thus far Skirmish JP doing a fantastic job at stealthing. We're going to be brushing around the 10 area here, and we have actually caught out our friend Kino yet again on the Ada. Going to be running up towards that main building here. Going to try and extend this chase as long as possible. Yakun going to be pre-rushing that, but sadly, our friend Kino does not have a pellet, but Yakun with a very confident swing there, sadly not going to connect, and Kino will be able to extend this chase out a little bit longer. Some nice rushes coming through from Yakun here. Yakun a little bit shaky on the rushes so far, sadly will not be able to get it down quite yet, and this will be yet another fatigue with 5 rushes used, but Kino kind of zoning himself here, won't be able to make that main window unless he plays it very well here. Yakun doing a great job at keeping Kino zoned up towards that top side of the map here. We should see some rushes coming through. We're going to be dashing around these cars, bumping on the main building there, and this will be our first down of the trial coming through right about the same time that Moret got his.
Yeah, not a great start for Yakun there. That was very lengthy chase by Kino there, so well done to Kino on that chase, using the little resources that they had. Going down in the corrupt area too, so might see some gens pop in the background, but we are going to be taking this hook down at the top side, and we do see a gen pop at the bottom side of the map. Yakun trying to catch out anyone who might be working on this mid-gen here, and I'm going to be probably camping this top side of the map. We do see the unhook come off and the FTP onto Kino here, but sadly not lasting very long, getting that really nice rush hit onto Kino there, and probably going to be trying to tunnel out Kino, I assume. But yeah, going to be following these pools of blood. And no, this is actually, I think this is Koka actually, but you're kind of struggling to find Kino. No, as I said it, we do see Kino here taking towards the bottom side of the map, making this filler, and Enduring coming through, but without brutal strength, that gives Kino a lot of distance to get to the next pallet. Oh, really nice stun by Kino there, but Enduring providing I don't know how I feel about Enduring as a perk. I'm not too sure if it's like gonna get much value this game, but Kino's playing this chase extremely well, and yeah, and going to be making it to Shack pallet here too. And not quite.
No.
That is so unfortunate for Yakun. I think Yakun's just going to drop the chase on Kino and try and find anyone else here.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't ever commit to that on the killer side there, sadly. You're chasing out of your 3-gen/4 gen up towards the top side, and you're also, even if you get the down, you're going to be losing those gens, and you've still got another hook stage to go on to Kino, and we're going to be seeing Yakun getting spun by Miyabi here out of the power. That hit will come through the window, however, and Miyabi will be making his way straight down towards the bottom side of the map. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of lucky break on the side of our Nia Carlson here. We're going to be dashing around this on the side of Yakun, but a great pallet drop from Miyabi will be able to extend this chase out a little bit longer. Yakun actually going to elect to commit all the way down here on the bottom side of the map to try and get this down. Going to be swinging through that pallet, and we'll be able to get the down through, and this should be our second hook stage of the trial coming through, but sadly it is all the way on the bottom side of the map, and we do get an eruption proc, however, on it too. I think that is Koka on that gen up towards 2, or top mid it might have been. So, I mean, you're not in the worst of positions, especially seeing as the win con isn't going to be too hard to meet, but this isn't where you want to be on the Blight.
Oh, 100% Filthy. I do agree, especially with that first and second chase onto Kino that just bought so much time for the survivors to get those generators done. But we do catch out Kino here, injured and at this filler, and we do see another gen pop in the background, which is really good gen pressure by them right now. But playing that really, really patiently by Kino, getting every stun so far this game. But Kun's going to be trying to commit here to Kino, and I don't know if that was really nice hit by Kino there. I was thinking maybe that might have been balanced landing or something like that. But yeah, we do get the down, and that's going to be second stage onto Kino, and we do see Miyabi get reset in the background. It's not too sure how this is. It could go either one or two ways. It could end really terribly for Yakun, or it could go really well. But we are on 3 stages, and there's 2 gens remaining. So Skirmish JP can bring this back, I think. Just got to get some really good chases like they have been already this game, and they're all perfectly healthy too. So they can actually bring this back, I think.
Yeah, no, it is crucial for Yakun to make one of 2 decisions here, to go back and get Kino out of the game if it is a very fast chase, or to try and start looking for those fresh survivors. We can't be leaving those gens unattended to, as they will pop. We've got monstrous amounts of progression onto them. We're seeing Miyabi feeling really confident, going to be tapping that gen in the shack here. We've actually caught out 2 survivors. Koka, our supposed deliverance player of the trial, going to be mid-vaulting that window, which is so unfortunate. And of course, I think that was Miyabi here as well. We're going to be kicking this generator with that eruption and looking for a down onto Koka here. Koka going to be making his way over towards this 3-lane to try and play around it, and we will be seeing a nice flick around that corner from Yakun, going to be able to confirm that down onto our Adam here. Though I'm pretty sure Koka should be our deliverance player. This is going to be our 4th stage of the trial ticking through, and yeah, no, Skirmish JP can't afford to be giving too much more in exchange for these generators, as of course it is only 8 stages needed for Yakun to win 7 if it is 4 fresh. Actually, I'm not sure how the kills count into it as well, so I mean, Skirmish might be needing to see some stages out the door here. Well, obviously they will, but maybe a few more survivors out the door.
Yeah, I think Yukon is playing this really carefully, trying to make sure that these gens don't get done. But it is a 2-2 split, so he hasn't bothered to check the top side of the map because we do see another gen pop in the distance. There's only one gen remaining, and they do still have a gen at top side. So, oh my god, and that's all gen. That is the last gen done, and Yukon is in a bit of a strife at the moment. Not too sure what he needs to do. I think he needs to potentially find a fresh hook. I think everyone's been hooked once.
No, Miyabi needs to get down here.
Yeah, Miyabi needs to find Miyabi here and probably just camp to death and achieve that win con. But we do see May here and Kino coming in for a body block. I think it might be May that hasn't been hooked.
Actually, I think you're right. Yeah, no, it may well be here. We see it down being taken by Kino here, and we're going to be trying to buy a bit of time for our survivors. May W keying towards 10 here. Now the question is it open and ready? The gate is looking at some bars here, but Miyabi has been caught out. We're seeing... Oh, I don't know if you can do that, May. That is going to be a health state being taken on the side of Skirmish JP here. May running into the open. Yukon trying to flick it, but sadly it will not be connecting here. May going to be running towards the safety of this pallet. We need to start picking up our survivors. I think Miyabi going to be W keying away over towards the down... Oh no, sadly Miyabi will be eating the dirt here. Skirmish JP put into a very, very rough situation now.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Skirmish at the moment. It's a really, really tough win con to meet, and I believe if Yukon just camps Miyabi to death, I think that might be win con. I'm not too sure. I'm really terrible with these types of win cons, but yeah, they played so Skirmish played extremely well on the survivor side, but this endgame has just been catastrophic for them. But very well played and very patiently played by Yukon there.
I'm pretty sure if Miyabi dies on this hook, it's actually only a tie for Yukon.
Okay.
So we're going to have to be seeing an extra hook stage onto either Coca or Mel. Now the question is Skirmish JP going to risk the save onto Miyabi to try and confirm this win condition, or are they going to just take the safety of a tie? Personally, this save is very possible. I mean, sure, the Blight has his rushes, but these gates are quite close in proximity. They're actually just going to be taking the outs, and that will be a tie yet again. Nurse set and now Blight set tied, and we will be going on into the third set, which was Oni, correct?
Yeah, the third set will be Oni, but wow, I can't believe that we've got another tie again, Filthy. These games are just being neck and neck, just amazing to watch by both sides.
Yeah, no, definitely fantastic games being played out, and such equality between the two teams in terms of skill and survivor games, and I'm very excited to see how we perform on the Oni. So of course you all know the drill. We will be back at you to find out how Kitchaze's Oni does against the survivors of Skirmish JP after a very short break. And welcome back on in, ladies and gentlemen, to Skirmish JP versus Kitchaze here tonight. We've seen two ties already between the two teams. Nurse coming to a tie with a 4K at 2 win con for both sides. And of course, Blight coming through with a 7-stage tie for both sides as well. So some interesting games being played out here tonight. But of course, we will be jumping straight on into Kitchaze's killer, Yukon. Going to be flying on into the coal tower on the Oni with a bit of shipwrecked hull and Kane for that increased speed. And of course, a very typical build with the Pain Res Pop combination. Boozle for the Chases and Corrupt Intervention for that gen prevention towards the start of the game here. We've already caught 2 survivors out over towards 1. And it looks like Yukon might have an idea that somebody is going to be here. And it is going to be May taking a very early first hit here against the Oni.
Yeah, that's not a great start for Kitchaze. You know, you need to be delaying that first hit as long as possible, but really not well played by May here, and getting it down as well for Yukon. Really good start for Yukon, but I don't think there is enough blood to be able to get his power. I'm not too sure how Oni really works with his power, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to have enough. But Yukon's probably going to opt to leave this and try and get maybe another hit onto a survivor, trying to get that power. But yeah, I think they just need to try and play for their life and prevent that first hit from coming to delay the Oni's power. But Yukon's just going to be patiently camping this hook and patrolling his gens on the through mid, and it does look like he has, I can't really see the gens, but he does have a pretty, I think he has a 3 gen at top side. This gen here has a bit of progress, going to be applying pop to that gen, and we do see the unhook come off onto May here, getting quite stuck on that little tree and rock there, but I think Yukun's just going to be trying to, I don't know who he's trying to chase here. I think this is May again, catching out at this double wall, spamming that window and getting a down again onto May. This is not a great start for Kitchaze right now.
Yeah, I think you mean Skirmish JP not having not having the most fantastic start game here. May on Death Hook versus an Oni at 5 gens, which is, I mean, to say it's really not something you want to be seeing on the Survivor side would be an understatement here. Coca going to be on this generator over towards 9. We're going to be applying Pop Goes the Weasel onto it and making our way back over towards this hook here. We still don't quite have enough blood to get that power pop here. You're kind of going to be soaking up those 2 blood orbs there, but we're still sitting at about a 3/4 mark on that power bar. We're going to be seeing Coca running up towards the top side of the map here, and this will be a hit coming through. This will be our power confirmed. I believe Yakun should just go straight back to this hook and look for a tunnel out on May, as, I mean, an Oni with power and a death at 5 gens would be, I mean, pretty much, I'd like to say a guaranteed win for Kitchaze, but I mean, you can never make assumptions, and we will be making our way back on over towards the bot side of the map, trying to catch out where our friend May and whoever her unhooker was has stealth off to. We're going to be popping our power onto this god filler here, and we have 2 survivors zoned here. I think this is going to be Miyabi on the Zarina, trying to play for a nice chase on the god filler. I don't think May is here, actually, so this is not too bad of a spot for Skirmish JP. If they can get a nice reset coming through onto May and wait out this power, try to reset the game a little bit, it could be huge for them.
Oh, that green onto that shack rattler, that was over. Not, yeah, probably not the best idea to vault back in, but we are seeing it down, go on to Miyabi here, who is another fresh hook. We do see 2 gens pop in the background there. Skirmish can bring this back potentially, having a pretty rough start, but on 3 gens, but we do see 2 injured survivors not resetting yet. We do see a lot of progress onto this generator, and Yukun is well, not too sure how this game is going to play out. It could go either one or 2 ways, but we do see a reset come off onto May. I assume they're probably resetting with Coca, and Yukun is finding a lot of blood here and probably going to hold his power. Oh no, we do spot out May here, who is our 2nd stage survivor. Yukun not opting to pop his power yet, trying to get a tag, and we do have 3 injured survivors, which is not looking very good for Skirmish at the moment. And we do see the pull come off onto Miyabi in the background from the basement hook. May taking Yukun to the top side of the map, playing this tile, getting the nice stun there onto Yukun there, and just going to be playing this power. The mind game's coming through, and Yukun just opting to die in this corner here.
You know, May gonna be running up towards that edge map there, looking to take a down as far away from any active gens as possible here. Yukun taking this hook up towards 11, and this will be the death coming through onto May. Yukun insta-popping that power, interestingly. We're going to be seeing one of those bottom gens pop. Skirmish JP doing a great job at keeping up with the pressure that Yukun is applying throughout the map right now. We're going to be dashing around those logs, trying to catch someone out. Some blood pools around here. We do catch on to Mr. Coca on the Adam here, going to be playing around this long wall jungle gym. We should be able to make that pallet in time. No, not quite. That will be the down coming through thanks to the Kane. The Kane's speed bonus in that Demon Dash. We're actually going to be seeing Yukun going for a bit of a slug play here, heading up towards mid. But Kino and Miyabi doing a fantastic job at stealthing out the Oni thus far. But we have caught on to our friend Miyabi here. The stun will come through, and Yukun's power will expire here, making him a little bit less oppressive.
Yeah, this is not looking great for Skirmish, but we do have a lot of blood still sitting around the map, so Yukun could get his power pretty much straight away again. He's going to be popping it immediately. This could potentially snowball if Skirmish don't play this correctly. We do see, I think it was Coca that got picked up in the background by Kino, and we are going to be unfortunately getting the down on Miyabi here. And I think this might be our next pain res. We still have 3 pain res stacks in Yukun's back pocket. So, yeah, this is not looking very good for Skirmish. This think that looks like a 6 gen. There's not too many gens bottom side. It's this gen split is not looking very great. We do apply pop onto that mid gen, and Yukon has a lot of blood sitting around the map as well, so you can get power pretty easily. We do find Coca here. Unfortunately not making that hit. Going to be doing the standstill mind game onto Coca, but Coca's just holding W away to main, and Yukun's just going to be returning back to hook, picking up some blood orbs on the way, and yeah, this could potentially maybe become a 4K1 result at best, but I think that was Kino stealthing behind that tree trying to get the save, but I think Yukun's just going to confirm death onto Miyabi here. I think really wants that 4K2 and 4K1 or 4K1 result. Popping his power, getting ready for Miyabi to say goodbye and leave the trial, and going to be leaving and checking on his topside gens. We do know that Kino was around in this area, potentially working on the main gen or 11. We do see some scratchies, and I believe this might be Kino. No, this is actually Coca behind main and vaulting in, gonna be bamming that window, and yeah, I don't know how this is going to go for Yukun, Filthy. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Yukun playing this very well. Coca, fantastic stun coming through here. He might actually be able to play this pallet till the Oni's power expires. Yukun going for a flick there, will be able to make a connect, however, and that will be the power expiring in exchange for Coca's down here. But I mean, we've got a 2v1 at 2 gens, and it's not looking all that great for Skirmish JP. We do also have that extra 2 pain. Sorry, excuse me, I have to sneeze. Alright, sorry, and we do also have those 2 extra pain resonance stacks, but we do see the gen being popped by Kino there, which is just huge for changing the win con here a little bit. We're going to be seeing maybe a final chase taken here. A nice window fake coming through. Oh my goodness, going for a bit of a spin there. That was some crazy movement coming through from our Nia here. She will be breaking away down towards the long wall jungle gym here, trying to play for a final chase just to wrap things up here. This looks like a lucky break actually on the side of our Nia. We're going to be playing around this pallet. Yukun trying for those mind games, going to be swinging through that pallet, but not with that JP ping, my friend. That will be a swing and a miss and a pallet stun on the side of Kino here. We're getting a little bit lost actually. Maybe Kino's broken away, might be able to try and play for an unhook of sorts onto Coca.
Yeah, Kino played that really well, but we do see that Kino is just waiting at Shack Pallet here. Yukon looking a little bit lost, going to be returning back to the hook, maybe panicking that Kino might be coming to get the unhook, but we do know that Kino is waiting at Shack, so I don't think there's any way that they can get the unhook. We do see Coca hitting second stage, and maybe Kino might be waiting at Shack for a hatch play. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is probably going to be looking like a 4K1.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely does look that way. We're actually seeing Kino breaking up towards the top side of the map here, but that lucky break has expired, so he's got to be careful. Playing for an unhook, it looks like, on to Coca as our friend Yakun makes his way back down towards the bottom side of the map. We're going to be playing for this unhook here, and Coca and Kino will be going separate ways here to try and outlive our Oni. Maybe play for an extra generator on the side of Skirmish JP, get a few extra points, and we're going to be making our way back up towards the top side on the side of Yakun, trying to catch out a survivor. It looks like we have found somebody here. This is actually going to be our fresh hook Kino, which is just huge for Yakun in case a plausible or possible hatch play or something along those lines. You really don't want that fresh survivor getting out. We're going to be popping power for the down onto Kino and dashing straight down towards the shack here. I believe Kino... Oh, actually, no, Yakun's going to be leaving this chase. What an interesting decision here.
Yeah, I think Yakun might be just cautious about potentially Coca working on a gen. We do see Coca here actually trying to work on main building, hanging off the ledge and vaulting in. Oh, trying to do the flashlight spin there. Yeah, Yakun made the right decision by leaving Kino, so I think he caught on to what was going to be happening. Skirmish trying to play for, you know, trying to get a 4K0. Yakun opting to drop Coca here and going to be finding Kino, I think, a little bit nervous about the hatch play, trying to find Kino here. We do see Kino waiting for the hatch here, and oh, that is just, yeah, that is so unfortunate, but they played extremely well this entire game, Skirmish. Props to them for, you know, doing the best with, you know, what they had. And yeah, we're going to see a final juicer chase. Do enjoy a juicy chase to wrap up the game. Yeah, this is looking like 4K1, I think.
Yeah, no, I was a bit worried Yakun was going to go for the hook onto Koka there. If he did, he actually would not have made the hatch in time, I believe. It would have been an escape on the side of Kino. So very good thing he dropped him. We are going to be activating the power to try and get the down onto our Nia here, but sadly, that swing will not be connecting. We will be seeing Kino making that main building window. Yakun going to be fatiguing and vaulting that with Bamboozle, and we will be continuing this chase onto our friend Kino here. Kino dropping off that main building. Yakun going for a big old swing, but it will not be colliding. Short swinging at the pallet. Don't think that's going to break it, my friend. We will be dashing around it. We will be getting a 180 here while blinded. No, we will not. Kino absolutely juicing this chase thus far. Will we be able to run Yakun's entire power?
Yeah, as you said it, we do see Kino finally go down, and yeah, really nice last chase by Kino. That I enjoyed watching that a lot. But yeah, we're going to be taking Kino and hopping onto a hook here and going to find Koka, which we did see Koka go down in the main building, so not too sure where he must have crawled off to, maybe towards a corner trying to play for bleed out, but it doesn't really matter because he's death hook anyway. But we do see Koka behind a tree here on edge map, so they're going to be playing for that bleed out anyway. And yeah, I think we might just I don't know, I think we might, oh, we do see, yeah, Kuna's finally found Koka here, and that's going to be wrapping up the end of the Oni set with a 4K1 result.
Yeah, very solid result on the Oni. Koka has actually been able to wiggle, however, due to the fact that Yakun did drop him before, so we're going to delay the end of this trial even further. Man, we're going to be looking for a delayed night. Sadly, Koka, unable to fast vault that window, will be going down. So we will be taking this final hook of the trial. So a 4K at 1 or a 4K at 2 for a win is what we will be seeing the Oni of Skirmish JP play for. God forbid we see another tie, so keep your fingers crossed as we jump on in, and whichever side you're going for, wish them good luck. We will be taking a very short break before we jump on into the next series. We'll catch you then.
Welcome back, everyone, to Kitchaze vs Skirmish Japan. We've been seeing some really neck-and-neck games tonight, with the Nurse and the Blight set being a tie, and we're going to be moving on to Kitchaze playing Oni now, with Skirmish achieving a 4K1 result. I do have to mention as well, if this game does end up being another tie, we will be moving on to the next series of games. So let's see what Miret can do here on the Oni. We're going to be loading in and going to be seeing pretty standard build and the same add-ons as before. And yeah, this is looking like we do spot someone over at the 11 side here, and going to be committing to this chase. Does make a filler, so trying to be delaying this hit as much as possible. Probably going to have to pre-drop this pallet, and yeah, and Rizu's is probably going to be taking towards main, which is a good way to go. Going to be delaying that first hit as much as possible and bamming that window, pre-dropping this pallet, really smartly played. And yeah, this is good start by Kitchaze here with the first chase.
Yeah, no, we're going to be seeing Merit dropping that first chase onto Rizumu and going on over towards 1. Making sure there's not too much progression on this generator here. Merit cannot spend too much time wasting here on the top side of the map. Only every second counts, especially on the start game as this killer. Letting Corrupt end before you get your first hit would be absolutely brutal, worst case scenario. And we are going to be taking chase onto 2 survivors here. Greninja and Rizumu are going to be dropping that Longwool pallet and breaking away. And Merit will be dropping that chase, heading back up towards the top side here. Catching out, I couldn't quite see who this was. This is going to be Uni on the Nia here, playing around this 4 lane. This should be our first hit coming through here. Actually, a nice bamboozle of that window coming through. Uni will be getting hit and running to the top side of the map here, making his way over towards the main building. Maret going to be trailing closely behind, looking for some of those precious blood orbs to try and get that first power.
Yeah, Kitchaze playing really well here. Moret seems to be losing, no, just as I said, it does find Uni here again. That lucky break, almost just losing that. And going to be committing to this chase behind main building, picking up some blood here, and hopefully going to pick up enough to get Moret's first power. And I think this potentially might be a down. No, we do see two gens have already been done in the distance, so this is not looking very good for Moret. But I don't want to speak too soon because, you know, I have seen Oni games in the past, and they can turn around pretty quickly, especially when you have access to your power. So Moret's going to be picking up more blood and getting his power, and going to be committing to this down onto Uni here, just making that window and playing this TL very, very nicely. But I think Moret's is going to pop their power and leave this, or no, going to be committing to Uni here, and very nice mind game by Moret there, getting that down and going to be picking to get that first pain res. I think Moret might be a bit concerned about the gen progress around the map. We do see some 2 gens down that bottom side, so it's not looking too bad, but I think this might be a 3 or 4 gen top side though.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is somewhat of a, well, there is the good old KL region up towards the top side of the map, I think. But I mean, you're already in not the best of spots for an Oni. This is, and it's not even a fantastic gen to try and defend here over towards 10. There's a whole gym between the two, so you can't really check its progression consistently. It's still something for our friend Merit to defend, though. If he can get it down top, it would be absolutely huge. All this blood up towards the top side of the map is going to help break as well. The Weasel on the main building gen is going to be huge for our friend Merit. He's going to pop that power a little early and try to dash onto the back of somebody. Try to get it down top is definitely what Merit needs right now to try and meet this win condition. He's going to be dashing around this jungle gym here, trying to catch somebody up, but kind of losing those scratch marks here. Really, you can fatigue, mate. Your power's not going to go anywhere if you're fatigued. But no, he's just going to be dashing away from this gym here, making his way down towards 6. Crow just landing here, kind of tipping us off to the fact that a survivor quite a while ago. It is going to be Uni here, our injured Nia. Not the ideal find, but a find nonetheless, and we will be playing for a down onto Uni here. We're going to be going for a bit of a flick, but it will just break the pallet. A nice pre-vault of it will come through, and this should be a down onto Uni, but no, an excellent pallet drop extending the chase even further. A fantastic chase being played out by Uni, and the power will actually expire. This is got to hurt for our friend Merit.
Yeah, Survivor's doing really well. I assume that they'll probably stealthing out that power. And really unlucky for Moret to be finding out Uni here, our only injured survivor of the trial. And yeah, we do see another gen pop at topside, and that is the 3 gen broken. This is not looking very good for Moret, and we do see another Uni gen done as well. Uni playing that pallet really, really nicely. This is the Tycon now met with only 1 hook stage, so this is looking quite dire for Moret right now.
This is not looking too good. Going to be our second stage of the trial here at 1 gen left remaining. Our friends in Kitchaze have unlocked. They are playing this fantastically here. This is the survivor lineup skill that I wanted to see from them this evening, and they're finally finally starting to break it out here against Moret's Oni. We do see a survivor. I think that was Rizumu on the MiG over towards that jungle gym there, but Moret does not really want any part in that. He's going to make his way up towards 11, where we've seen Greninja on the Fang lurking nearby. We're going to get a nice pop, goes the Weasel onto this generator, and maybe take chase onto Greninja. We need to try and get power again. The only chance Moret has here is playing for some ridiculous amount of snowball with a power usage, and I don't think that will be happening. We have a lot of blood up here towards the top side of the map, though, so maybe I'll be eating my words. We're going to be able to get power off this, and we have caught out Uni. A quick tunnel out maybe would be huge. I think we still have another power pop up towards the top side of the map, but this has to be very, very quick onto our monster of a near Uni. Boom! Oh, okay, he just got scammed.
Oh, wow. That, I would, oh gosh. Moret probably wants a refund on that hit. That looks horrible, but does redeem himself by getting this down onto Uni here, but probably, I don't know, probably not the ideal person that you want to be going for. You probably want to be going for a pain res at this stage, because we do see all the gens pop, and that is going to be a death onto Uni, and that is going to be the win condition met for Kitchaze, I believe. So, and I think everyone is still fresh hook, so Moret just needs to play for the best result possible, could go for anyone that he really wants to. We do see some scratch marks leading up towards this top side of the map, and we see a gate open in the distance. That might have been the other one. Whoever, I don't know who they're chasing here, but whoever this is has to just play for their life to buy time for the other two to escape.
Yeah, no, definitely maybe go for a bit of a juice of chase and try to run out the power here. Merit going to be breaking that door. The other two survivors simply taking the out. This will be a down through that locker, however, and Rizumu will be eating the dirt. This will be a 2K6 stage coming through on the side of Skirmish JP, a fantastic survivor game being played out by Kitchaze, and this will be our first set of the night being taken. So this does mean we will be jumping straight back on into the Nurse here. I hope you're all right and rearing to see a little bit more Nurse gameplay. I know I am after the sets earlier. They were fantastic being played out by both sides, but this time we will be seeing Skirmish's Nurse going in first instead of Yakun to be setting that win condition. So let's see if that changes anything. And of course, you all know the drill. Kick your feet back, give us a little bit of time. We will be right back at you after a very short break. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back on in to Kitchaze versus Skirmish JP. Feels like I've said that 100 times tonight, but of course, we will be jumping straight back on into the Nurse, which we saw tie in the first set. So after the win of Oni via Kitchaze, we will be jumping straight back on in to see if they can take a quick 2-0 sweep, or whether Skirmish will be able to claw their way back up and take that set point. What do you think, Maya?
Yeah, I didn't think we would actually be back at the first set all over again, Filthy. But it might, I'm not too sure how this will go. We do see Skirmish JP playing Nurse first this time, so this could go pretty differently, being that it was Kitchaze's pick, I think. But nonetheless, we do see the same build that Ray was running in the first game: Fearmonger, Eruption, Pop, and Corrupt. And kind of very rare to see a Corrupt regen at bottom side. Normally it's at the top side of the map, and Ray just struggling to find his first survivor here. Survivors are doing a really good job at stealthing here. Yeah, and Ray's just struggling to find someone here, and yeah, there's just not too much happening here, Filthy. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, no, I mean, we do see a bit of gen progression up towards 2, but we're seeing Kitchaze take a little bit more of a passive start game than we saw from the last time, where Yakun was found essentially off spawn after a really good chase, and then Ray was able to snowball off of that first hook. But we will be seeing Ray looking up at the edge map here at 1, trying to catch out whoever was on this generator. We see a scratch marks and a survivor down towards 5 here, which I think Ray got a glimpse of as well. He's going to be blinking down towards that side of the map to try and catch them out, but sadly will not be able to quite yet. This is going to be Uni on the Nia taking this chase here against Ray. Fantastic positioning there from Uni. Going to be surviving that full range blink, and Ray will be forced to wait another blink cycle before he can try to play for this tag. And this is actually going to be 2 blink cycles already. Uni taking massive distance up towards the top side of the map, and it's looking like Ray's Corrupt will expire before he even gets his first down.
Yeah, it was a really great start by Kitchaze survivors here, and Uni just playing this really well for this first chase. It's not looking good for Ray. This is not the position that you want to be in, with Corrupt running out already and not even having a first tag. It's looking quite dire for Ray, but Uni playing this exceptionally well, taking the Nurse to the corner of the map. We do see oh my gosh, we do see 2 gens pop in the background. That is insane gen pressure. And Uni is just absolutely juicing up Ray right now, but as I said, it is going to be going down, unfortunately. We do see Eruption proc onto that progressed gen at 1, and Ray is just going to be taking Uni towards probably a mid hook. I don't know what gens did pop then, but I think Ray still might have a 3 gen down at the bottom side potentially. It is a little bit of a 3 gen, but it's not the best that you could have. We do see Gren coming in for the pool. This might be our Delhi player getting that endurance hit onto Uni, and not quite making that hit, and going to be opting to tunnel out Uni here, taking back to the top side to where that gen popped at 11. Probably a very good place to go. This gen split is pretty manageable too, so we do see another gen, as I said, another gen pop in the background, and I think Uni's just gonna just keep the Nurse top side of the map here. Probably going to be eventually going down, but again, playing these trees just amazingly well. Uni is on fire right now.
Yeah, no, Uni has Kitchaze in a backpack on his back right now with this crazy chase. We've got 2 gens left remaining. We're sitting at 1 stage, not a great place for a Nurse to be in. Uni going to be going down here up towards 1, but I mean, I can imagine that Kitchaze have massive gen pressure down towards the bottom side of the map right now and are ready to get another gen or 2 out of the way, especially with that extremely long chase from Uni. They're very well played. Ray not getting a whole lot of value out of his perks thus far. Eruption having only the 1 proc at the start game, and of course Mindbreaker we're not really seeing value out of with the tunnel. We're going to be blinking down towards the logs here. This gen having quite a large amount of progression. Ray is going to elect to pop goes the Weasel this, and we do see a unhook and for the people coming through on to Uni, but I don't think you can really afford to tunnel this out right now. I think by the time you get this down onto Uni, just going off his chases thus far, they might already have popped the last 2 gens.
Yeah, this is probably not the person that you want to be chasing, but we do get a tag onto Uni here, and we do know that the gen at logs had a lot of progress, so they probably jump back on and pumping that out. But yeah, I agree with what you said before, Filthy. I think you can't really afford to be tunneling out Uni at this stage because Uni has been performing very well with their chases so far. We do see another gen pop, and this gen as well has a lot of progress. Uni taking down to the bottom side of the map, maybe buying time from potentially a top gen to be completed. And we do, as I said, we do see the last gen, and that is a dead hard coming through from beautiful dead hard from Uni here. This is looking absolutely catastrophic for Ray right now. This might potentially be a 3-stage and refresh out the door, who knows, but I think Ray just needs to drop this chase and maybe look for a fresh hook survivor to achieve a better win con.
Yeah, this is this is bad.
No.
I think Ray getting a little bit upset here is just starting to mold swing and mold blink and whatnot, and Uni with just complete domination in this chase and entire set thus far. His 3 teammates will be leaving him behind, and this will be not even the death onto Ray quite yet. I don't think he's going to be able to make a door off of this, but I mean, just this chase alone is more than impressive enough. We're going to be making our way up towards the top side of the map. Maybe a Hail Mary for a possible out. Ray not going to be second blinking back, going to be fatiguing as Uni breaks down towards the bottom side of the map here. Another double back from our Nia, and he's made his way up towards the top side of the map. This guy is a monster on the Nia here. Uni W keying towards that main building. The question is, will he be able to make it out? It's not looking likely. Some great zoning coming through from Ray. Will we be seeing another blink dodge? No, we will not. Uni, a very honorable attempt. What a player. What a chase coming through. And a 3-stage against the Nurse. Kitchaze are done playing around. They are done letting these ties happen. This is what I've wanted to be seeing from this team.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed watching that chase from Uni. I might have to get some chase tips off of them after this game because that was just amazing to watch. I believe that is the win coming through for Kitchaze, which I think we're going to be moving on to the next set. Is that correct, Filthy?
What? We haven't seen Yakun play Killer yet, so we're going to be jumping into the second half of this
my
set.
bad.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, well, we're going to be moving on to that is Kitchaze playing Nurse. That is a pretty easy win con, a 3-stage win con to achieve. So we're going to be taking a short break. You guys know the drill. We'll be right back very shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to what might be the last game of this series between Kitchaze and Skirmish Japan. We just saw an amazing performance by the Kitchaze survivors, with Skirmish achieving a 3-stage result. And we're now going to be seeing Kitchaze on the killer on Nurse, going to be achieving this win con, which is a pretty very achievable win con for Kitchaze. So I don't think whoever's playing Nurse, which is Yakun, probably feeling very confident about this one. Probably not going to be having a hard time achieving this win con. How do you think this is going to go, Filthy?
Yeah, I reckon Yakun's feeling pretty good right now, especially seeing as we've just gotten an M1 onto Miyabi, which means there should realistically be a nice quick 2-tap coming through, a sprint burst onto Miyabi, I think it was, and that will be our first down of the trial, roughly 25 seconds in. So yeah, but, I mean, we're not off to the best of starts, I guess you could say. We're going to be looking for a hook on to Miyabi here. We're going to be settling for this one at 9. And I imagine Yakun's just going to be playing hyper-aggressive forward downs and whatnot. We do catch out Mei and Coca. It's just kind of chilling. I think they've given up. This will be a tag onto Coca and onto Mei, and this hook still... we're going to be seeing Miyabi chilling on it. Coca going to be taking it down here, and Yakun just... going to be playing for possibly a bit of a slug game here. I mean, a 4K at 5 would be the ultimate form of BM after a result like that, so it's looking pretty rough for our friends in Skirmish.
Yeah, Yukon playing very hyper-aggressive here, going for that slug onto Coca and getting another slug onto Mei, feeling very confident, maybe trying to go for that 4K at 5 gens. I would like to see it happen. It'd be very amazing to see, but we do spot some faint scratch marks here from Kino, I believe, probably going to be going in for the pull onto Miyabi, which we do see happen. And Yukon may just be looking for Coca, I think, here, going to be taking this pick. I think Yukon can just play however he kind of wants, doesn't really have to worry about tunneling out anyone or pressuring gens, because he does have a very achievable win con. So just going to be playing the best that he can, I think, and very hyper aggressive, as you said before.
Yeah, no, we're going to be getting a pop goes the weasel onto this generator as the unhook comes through onto Coca. Mei still slugged up towards the top side of the map here. You're going to be blinking back down and getting a bit of a messed up hit onto our friend Kino. This should be a nice quick 2-tap here. The Toledo will be eating the dirt now. You're playing for the pickup here is settling for maybe not a 4K at 5. Maybe you'll still be able to get it, but he's just content with winning here. Greeting for this top mid hook placement here, we should be able to get nice easy LOS onto Mei, and whoever her savior was there in a second behind the main building. Going to be taking a bit of a look around. I think Yakun might have seen something that I haven't here, but no, we're just going to be holding a blink on this car tile, and a reset has come through on to Mei. There's a bit of progression on this generator here. Yakun looks like, oh, he just swung at the hook, maybe letting the survivors know they're free to save. He will be applying Pop Goes the Weasel onto this generator here, and we see some scratch marks and blood leading away from it, tipping us up to the fact that Miyabi was in fact generator. Yakun blinking straight onto the back of Miyabi. Will be able to get that down with some fantastic blink. Once again, really not going to be playing around at this point. Going to be taking Miyabi up to that hook that he was initially hooked on here, and just continuing this game. This is our 4th stage at 5 generators. Yakun, I mean, he doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, that is going to be the win for Kitchaze coming through with that 4th hook stage. We do find Kino here working on this generator. It is regressing now with that eruption proc, and Yakun's going to be committing to this onto Kino here. May have lost Kino here. I don't know if that was lucky break or just made great distance, but oh my gosh, we do find Kino just chilling in a locker here. I don't think Toledo is the quietest. Let's go. The DS, that was a very smart play by Kino there, but unfortunately just going down again. I think that was, I don't know if that was lucky break. I can't see any scratchies, but yeah, very quick down from Yakun there after that DS. And Going to be taking this hook towards the top side of the map. This is looking like there's no gen pressure much going. I think there was a bit of gen progression at 9, maybe on a gen down the bottom side of the map, but I think Yakun's going to try and pop this gen and interrupt whoever's working on this gen here. Oh my gosh. Interrupting a double onto that gen and getting a tag onto Miyabi and going to be getting greedy for the second tag. I think Koka just standing still, accepting his fate there, popping this gen and going to be committing to Koka towards topside.
Yeah, no, Yakun keeping an eye out for our Adam here. Nice double back coming through from Koka and a sprint burst as well, just to get a little bit of extra distance. Did he just drop some bags? I couldn't tell. I think it looked kind of like it, but maybe he didn't. We will be seeing a fantastic double back from Koka, but a little bit of Pokos on the side of Yakun, and the down will come through here. We're going to be picking up Koka and slapping him onto one of these hooks. A reset has come through onto Kino. Miyabi still injured, our death hook survivor, and Koka's going to be hooked right on the generator. Side here, click link from Yakun, not getting a whole lot of off it, but it definitely looks. Will be keeping an eye around 7 area to catch out our friend Miyabi. Sorry, we'll have to excuse the spectating bug to get the bloody, I think it's the downed Miyabi 27, so we will be having a look around 3. I imagine there should be a survivor lurk around here somewhere. Yes, there is going to be our friend Kino on the Toledo yet again, going for a final chase. A nice flick link coming through from Yakun, but not able to get that. Feeling a little bit too confident here on, but they're definitely behind. But now Kino will be that main building here. Fantastic first from Yakun, and a cutter off, and then oh, if that hit, that would have been crazy, but sadly it does not. The firecracker coming Kino, and this is looking like it should be down.
Yeah, a really nice chase for Kino for that last chase of the trial, and we do see Koka is just dying on the hook in the background. Miyabi and May not bothering to go for that save. I think they've, like you said earlier, Filthy, I think they've just accepted their defeat for the game. Yeah, 2 deaths at 4 gens. It's not looking great for Skirmish. Yakun going to be going down to the bottom side of the map, trying to catch out anyone working on any of these generators. Maybe this one at 6. We do see some scratchies here and a little bit of progression onto this gen. Going to be applying Pop Goes the Weasel onto that gen, and going to be following those scratch marks, which led to 5. And we do find an injured Miyabi here, not quite getting that hit, just aiming onto that wall there. And we do see another gen pop at the top side of the map, but Yakun's just going to be freely going for this down here by the shack, and Eruption procking onto that progress gen at 6. And I think this might be, this is Miyabi's second hook or first.
I think they're actually death.
Oh, they're death. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're going to be opting for a death in the basement for Miyabi here. And yeah, I think this is going to be a 4K3 result. So yeah, good job for Yakun here. Played extremely well, and we do see May running around the bottom side of the map here. Maybe just, asking for one last chase to provide us some entertainment, I think. So let's see how this goes here.
Yeah, no, May doing May things, lurking around, trying to get that hatch, but sadly Yakun will come back and close it just to make sure she doesn't get... We're going to be blinking on up towards here, May teabagging on the jungle gym here. Fantastic blink from Yakun. May running into a wall for a second. They're going to be losing a little bit of distance. Yakun going for a very confident one blink, but sadly going to get auto-aimed on the... Yakun gone for style points. Oh my goodness! What a one blink! That was insane. This guy is an absolute monster. But yes, a 4K at 3 from Yakun. Kitchaze were done playing around. They were here to win it, and they did with a 2-0 sweep of Skirmish JP. Yakun doing a little celebratory dance here. Probably feeling a bit tired after all of those ties, but things were definitely made clear towards the end here. So